I used to feel like making art was meaningless. I mean, not meaningless, but maybe didn't contribute as much value as other things that I was good at. So I felt like I had to stick with what I was good at because it helped people. And art, in my mind at the time, didn't help people. But I have been painting and sewing and writing for a solid year now, and it has been the most helpful thing for me to create space in my mind and just change my perspectives on life and make me happy, like make me ridiculously happy. And I've been creating a space for myself where I can express my poems and my paintings and my clothing designs and whatever else comes to my mind in one space. But I guess it's like a blog, I guess you could call it, or maybe a zine. I don't know. I don't know what the right word is, but I guess the format looks like a zine, but it feels like a blog, if that makes any sense. I think what I love about this is that there's no one to tell me what to do. I can choose how the makeup looks, I can choose the styling, I can choose the direction I want to go into. I can just play around and have fun and experiment and see how it turns out. And I think that's why I love this so much. I think that's why I love doing this. The theme for this one is nostalgia. I have been really thinking a lot about my past, and at first I feel like I was romanticizing it, but then I realized that honestly I'm better equipped now to handle things than I ever was in the past, so there's not really much to romanticize, and I feel like this project has been helping me to release a lot of that energy. And so I feel like a lot of the visuals for this are meant to look dated. They're meant to look dated. They're meant to kind of evoke that sense of living in the past. And all of the paintings are meant to kind of give that feeling, and the poetry, it's all meant to just sit in that energy so that I don't have to. I just feel like the realization that art isn't meaningless was one of the best ones I've ever had, only because when I'm painting or when I'm creating anything, if I do something that I later wish I hadn't, like if I spill something or if I realize that a color doesn't really fit where I put it, or the balance of a piece is off, or the stitching is a little crooked, like I don't freak out. I don't shame myself. I don't blame myself. I don't guilt myself, where as in the past, I absolutely would. And I was always pushing myself to be like the best version of myself. And now I'm just like, I don't think there is a best. I just think there's good enough. Like, it's good enough. And so when I'm making these pieces and I do something that I wish I had done differently, I just look at it and I'm like, well, I can just start over. Like, there's no feeling of regret or feeling like, oh, you didn't do this right, like you've made a mistake. It just feels like, okay, just paint over it and try again. Like, you can paint over it, you can do a new piece. And when I look at the pieces that have these perceived mistakes or flaws, I end up really liking them anyway, because I remember how fun it was to create it. So it's not a loss, it was just a process, and that's good. Like, I feel like this sounds so simple, but this is really liberating for me, to not feel like there's right or wrong or black and white. Like, it's all good, it's all part of the process, and it's all helping me to feel peace within myself. I can apply that logic now to real world situations where I do something, I'm like, oh, maybe I could have said something a little bit better. And I'm just like, okay, if it hurts someone, apologize. And if not, then just do better tomorrow. Like, it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, I am excited to share whatever it is that I create with others and just have this, I guess, like almost like a journal that's open to the public, I guess, but with photography and art, and clothes. In total, I think I wrote 4 poems and I made 5 or 6 paintings, and I ended up using no paintings and 2.5 poems, which is fine. It was really fun to do so. I think that's the whole point. I think for the poetry, I'm going to post them on Substack and keep them as a collection there. And then the rest I've posted on Instagram, and I'm thinking about posting on TikTok too. I'm also toying with the idea of printing these into physical copies for myself, just so I can look back on later like a photo album. But yeah, these are my musings on nostalgia.